to be made. It starts with you.
Indeed, it can start with you. You joining in from wherever you are in the world to hear more about this webinar about the program, the Master in Environmental Engineering from the University of Pavia. And we're going over to Pavia in Italy in just a minute. But before we do so, I will briefly explain to you some of the interactive options we have. My name is Luc Mulling. I'm the moderator of today. And we try to make it as interactive as possible. First of all, I already see that a lot of people saying where they're from in the chat. So that's great. Please do so. Let us know. And also, we open up a polling question. So to you in the poll, and throughout the session, I will open up a couple more polling questions to learn a bit more about you, about your academic professional background and further other points. But most importantly, if you have any questions, you can write them at any time through the panel called questions at the bottom. And we will be dealing with the questions at the end for the live audience. For the people that are watching the recording, you can also write your questions. Of course, we cannot answer them live. However, we will be sending them through to the staff of University of Pavia, so they can come back to you later. And lastly, a little fun factor, so to say. We have a fun button at the bottom of the screen. You see a button called React. And if you click on that, you can click on the reaction of your choice. If you hear something you like, for example, that one, yes. And that way we can interact a little bit more with the speakers. And talking about those, let's go over to them as we have them already set up. So we're going over to Professor Sibilla, and he will introduce himself and the students and another person. Thank you.
So, hello everybody. I'm Stefano Sibilla. I'm professor in hydraulics here in Pavia, and I've been also organizing the courses in environmental and civil engineering since up to a few years ago, but I'm still involved in all of them. And I will make a little presentation about the course today. We are here with also the two students of the REACH program who can introduce themselves. Hezron.
All right, I'll go first. Hello, everyone, wherever you're coming from. I'm Hezron Casasola. I am from Philippines, and I am on my first year also in REACH, Environmental Engineering Program.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Alireza. I'm from Iran. I have studied civil engineering, civil and environmental engineering in Iran, and I'm also at the moment studying environmental engineering, resilience to climate change effects in University of Pavia. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is Shi from Welcome Office. After the presentation, I will provide you with more information about the scholarship, tuition fee, and many others. Okay.
So,
Professor, it's your turn.
Thank you so much. Okay, then I can start a bit with a short presentation. So, first of all, a good question is why studying environmental engineering? Of course, most of you have studied maybe civil or environmental engineering and you're connected now, so you know what I'm speaking about. But what are the main reasons for studying environmental engineering and for being an environmental engineer? There are some which are related to the role and some which are a bit more personal. The ones related to the role is that, first of all, the environmental engineer plays a very important role in the protection of the environment, protection from human hazards, protection from natural hazards. And so he or she will design and implement technologies and solutions for different problems, but mainly to, for instance, reduce the pollution, for water treatment, for the protection from extreme events like flooding and so on, and also to manage and preserve the natural resources. Then, of course, the environmental engineer will be focused also on, it's an engineer, so he will be also focused on the economic viability of his solutions, but always with an eye, with a glance on the protection of environment and on the social responsibility. Then, of course, the environmental engineer is the best, let's say, role in engineering to face some of the global most important challenges, such as the climate changes, such as the reduction of natural resources. And the solutions which are required are mostly designed by environmental engineers. But, of course, there is also some personal reasons. There are good career opportunities in taking environmental engineering because You can find jobs, we will speak a bit about that later, but find jobs in private sectors, such as in renewable energy, management plans on waste management, water treatment, as well as in public agency, which deal with the protection from flooding and the protection of the environment. So that means that you will have really a large number of a wide range of career opportunities after graduation. Then there's some personal reward, because the environmental engineer is the one who can really make a difference, because he's the one who can mostly address some of the most important environmental challenges that the world is facing now. So within environmental engineering, why did we decide to start an MS on the resilience to climate change? Because we want to give a peculiar path of knowledge to our engineers. We want them to have a full understanding of all the physical processes which are related to the climate systems and all the characteristics of the climate variability, independently of the causes. There is a lot of discussion about what causes climate change, but one is the causes and one is the fact. Climate is changing, and we have got to deal with this. Then we will have, of course, being engineers, we will need to gain knowledge on all the important mathematical and engineering tools which are needed, which we need to model these problems, to monitor the climate changes, to evaluate the scenarios and the effects. And of course, we can use all these tools at the end to obtain a complete overview to deal with a number of problems which require actually the highest resilience to climate change. So for instance, the protection, as I said, from natural hazards like flooding, landslides, and also the remediation for groundwater contamination, or the management of hydraulic infrastructures in urban areas, which also are impacted by, let's say, for instance, heavy rainfalls, but also very few rainfalls. So drought conditions are also a problem. They are a problem for agriculture. That's also something which requires resilience to climate change, as well as all the aquatic ecosystems, just like lake ecosystems, which are hardly impacted by climate change. So what will you learn within this MS? Well, you will learn, of course, to understand, first of all the causes and the impacts of climate changes, all what is related to climate change. So that means the availability of water resources, the impact on temperatures, the rising temperatures, and all the effects on the ecosystems. And this will be done to be able to design and implement systems and develop strategies to minimize those effects on all the environments we live in. So we need to design environments which are resilient to climate change. We need to design systems which include water supply systems, flood protection system, wastewater treatment plants, and so on, to take into account all the effects of the changing climate. Also, renewable energy systems, of course, are included in that. And we need to know all the policies and regulations and planning procedures to deal with climate change mitigation. And also, we will also learn this part in a specific course. And we will also learn to deal with all the data which are required to analyze and interpret, to create the scenarios, to create the models. Of course, these data rely mostly on satellite data and other data which are reported on the GIS system. So we will learn all of these tools, for instance, to deal with, once again, temperature data, precipitation data, land use, and the soil conditions, and so on. And so, given this let's say goal, this is our course structure, which you can find also on the website. But for instance, it is an engineering course, so we will have some basic courses to start of physics, of continuum mechanics, of mathematics, because we need to have some advanced course on these topics to be able to deal with all the specific problems which deal with climate change. So the hydrological models, the hydraulic infrastructures, models in climatology, which also are important as a base, the analysis of satellite data, as we said, down up to landslide hazards on the hydraulics of fluvial systems, so rivers, and the problem related to flood propagation, the structures which are connected to the protection from flooding and or from protection from snow avalanches, which is an elective course. Also the impact on agriculture and so on. So you see that this is more or less the program. You can find it on the website. There is a large part devoted to the master thesis, which occupies mostly the fourth semester of the master course. We have a number of laboratories. We have here only some examples about them. So some pictures from the EH2R, which is the Environmental Hydraulics and Hydraulics Risk Laboratory, which, as you see, deals with monitoring, lab testing, and numerical models applied to flooding, ecological, eco-hydraulics, eco-hydrology, and all these kind of problems related to aquatic systems, both in a natural environment or in a urban environment, as does the urban hydrology and hydraulics laboratory. We have also opportunities of internships for the master thesis. For instance, these are some examples of partner universities where we had master thesis joint master thesis in the last years, in the Technical University of Delft in the Netherlands, the Water Research Institute also in Utrecht in the Netherlands, or the Concordia University in Montreal, and there are also some other ones that I remember, the Zaragoza University in Spain. We have a lot of links with other universities. Then, just to come to the career opportunities, what will you do at the end after graduating in this MS? Of course, you have the opportunity to be a freelance environmental engineer, which deals with planning and design of public infrastructures like levees, irrigation channels, treatment plants, and water distribution networks as a freelance engineer, or in company which operate in the building and management of these plants and infrastructures, more or less the same infrastructures, or also hydroelectric plants and so on. But also in authorities, consortia, and agencies which are more related to the management of infrastructures, so integrated water companies, irrigation consortia, and so on, as well as jobs in public authorities who deal with the planning and design and management of systems at a municipal, provincial, or regional levels, or also at national levels as safeguard authorities, just like environmental protection agencies or river basin authorities and so on, up to the public administration at both national and international level, which deal with the management and planning of all natural and urban areas, and where you can enter as experts in the control or in the management of measures for climate change effect mitigation. Let's close with some, then I will leave also the word later to Ms. Shi, but also with some just basic requirements, which are the things which we evaluate when evaluating your applications. So basically, what is it required? Well, a bachelor degree in engineering, let's say not mandatory but useful. It happened that we have admitted sometimes also people with a degree in geology, but with knowledge also in engineering subjects. But mostly, of course, it's an engineering master, and so we are looking for engineers. We engineers with a strong background in hydraulics, in hydrology, and environmental engineering. That's something which can be proved by your transcript of records, and that we can check also later by an interview. The master, of course, is in English, so we need the English knowledge at least at a B2 level, and of course a good overall rating of your university career. Then the admission process. Once again, I just deal with the part which is on my own side. So of course you will apply and you will submit an application, including your DS diploma, maybe an MS if you have also attended another MS course. Your transcript of records, your curriculum vitae to show if you have also had job experiences before applying to this MS, and also the recommendation letters from your former maybe university professors, which are also well evaluated. All of this material is evaluated by the admission committee with a particular glance on your GPA marks, which is the final or the partial GPA, depending if you got your degree or not. And maybe also about the marks in individual exams, especially in those subjects I've said before, so in hydraulics, hydrology, and environmental engineering, because we need a basic knowledge in those. We will also check it because most of the people who is partially admitted undergoes also an oral interview where we will discuss a bit about your experience and pose to you some questions, some more questions, or once again, in hydraulics, hydrology, and environmental engineering. So the students who are here can confirm that actually this is a core business of our MS. So we are interested in having people who know those subjects pretty well. I think, yeah, just one more word about the knowledge in English and Italian. As we said, English at a level which is no lower than B2, but of course, if you have passed an English language to access the university, or if you have attended a BS in English, or if you have already passed an exam during your career, which is equivalent to 3 credits, you don't have to submit any language certificate for the admission. Italian, of course, is not required because it is welcomed at a B2 level, but it is not required. I know that some people who have applied to this course have already a background in Italian, and that's good. But if you can attend, of course, all the courses in English, we offer a course which is compulsory for foreign students in Italian, of 3 credits in Italian, because that is useful for you, because at the end, if you want, for instance, to look for a job in Italy, then knowing also some Italian, a part of English, is a good additional option. So that's a possibility we give to you.
It will be easier for them.
It will be easier for you to find out, and also to interact with colleagues if you're finding a job in Italy.
Not only for that, also for reading Pavia.
Of course, it's useful also for the evenings in Pavia, which I will not speak about, yes. But they will speak about the evenings in Pavia. Okay, and that's all on my side. We say something else?
Okay, I think we're now going over to the students. Thank you, Professor.
Let's speak a bit about the students we are here. So first of all, if you want to introduce a bit yourselves and say why you have chosen the REACH curriculum, the REACH course.
You want to start first? Or?
Lady first.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So hi again, everyone. I'm Hezron, but you could just call me Hez. I'm from Philippines. My bachelor's was in agricultural and biosystems engineering. So I was an agricultural and biosystems engineer in the Philippines. So anyways, why did I choose REACH? The short answer would be, I felt like I needed a break from working and I felt like I needed to learn more. But the longer answer for that would be, it's twofold, personally and professionally. So personally, my parents are farmers. So my home province from the Philippines is an agricultural area. And if you know Philippines, it's an archipelago. So the geographic location is that we get at least 15 cyclones per year. And since my parents are farmers, we would always like suffer those typhoons. And I've noticed as I was growing up that those typhoons have been, the intensity and the frequency of the typhoons have been increasing. So while I was working, I made up my mind, but I had the interest to go through a path of that is related to climate change so that I could at least help not only my parents who are farmers, but also other farmers in the country. But professionally as well, I worked in the Department of Agriculture in the Philippines. And one of the things I've noticed is that there's not much traction right now towards climate change in agricultural production. And working there, I've noticed how it's impacting our agricultural production in the Philippines. So I also wanted to help building an agricultural production system in the Philippines that is climate resilient. So when I was going through different universities and other programs that I could take, this easily caught my attention because it's very the curriculum and the courses that make this MS curriculum is very interesting. So I wanted to apply right away. That's for me.
Thank you. And Alireza.
Thank you so much. Hello again. Hello, everyone. My name is Alireza. I have a background in civil and environmental engineering in University of Tehran, capital of Iran, and also because of these days and nowadays the effect of the nature and climate change by the humans is more and more, and not only because of the climate change, because I found the study plan very interesting, and it's so to my mind it's so interesting because of the flexibility of the course. It is involved the course in not only the climate change. It depends the geology. It depends to your background of the groundwater, and also to dynamic of the atmosphere. It's like a hydrology cycle, and I found it's so very interesting. Because of that, I have chosen this university.
Thank you. Hez, and then, how is it going after 1 year? Did we satisfy your expectations or not?
Yeah, so of course, for sure. The experience for me has been nothing short of wonderful so far. The program is equally challenging but also fulfilling. As I've been going through our courses, because we're already in second semester, so we've already had 5 courses last semester, and we're taking 5 more this semester. And what I've noticed which is like the common denominator with our courses, is that it highlights the interconnectedness of not only of climate, because before I went here, I thought we'll just learn unilaterally just about climate. But while we're learning here, I noticed that, and the professors, or through the courses, we've learned that climate is also connected to groundwater and surface systems, and also other systems in the geosphere. So I really appreciate that, because I get to appreciate climate not only as a niche concept, but something that is connected to other systems in the environment as well. But secondly, I think what made the experience better for me is our professors as well. Our professors are really very understanding, beyond making sure of the welfare of the students. They would always make sure that inside the classroom you really understand the lessons. But beyond that as well, it's not just about grades, and they really want to instill to us the basic concepts that we need to learn in order to create climate resilient. And I really appreciate that a lot.
Thank you on behalf of my colleagues.
Yeah.
Alireza, what are the things you prefer about REACH up to now?
So I said, as you heard about the study plan and about the video, at first it's show. You maybe know the Alessandro Volta students also. It's famous because of the Alessandro Volta for me, and also I think it's for other students. And we have an international community here. I have many friends from all Africa, Asia, and also in Europe, and also in America. And I found it very wondering, and so
Okay. Hez, what do you like about the town of Alessandro Volta? So what do you like about Pavia? Do you like being in this small but interesting town, which is Pavia?
Yeah. So when I first got here in Pavia, I immediately fell in love with the city, and I'm not even kidding. That's really how I felt when I got here. But to go with the specifics, I would say that the first thing that I've noticed is the calmness of calmness of Pavia. So if there are Gen Z here, the vernacular that we use is a very chill vibe. So there you would see people just drinking coffee around during lunchtime, or all throughout the day, or just strolling around the city. So I really like that it's not very fast paced. It's like everyone is just enjoying life here, and I really appreciate that. So the second thing is there are many green spaces throughout the city as well. So there are many parks. We also have the castle or the castle. We also have the river. So whenever you just want to be in nature, or just have like some time to rest or to unwind. There are many green spaces here if you're into green spaces. So yeah, that's also great about Pavia. And lastly, I would also say that there's a strong sense of community in Pavia because unlike other like large cities in Italy, Pavia is relatively small. So the sense of community here is very good. So whenever you would see people in bars or in restaurants just talking to each other like their families even if they're not, so like everyone's just very friendly, and if there's not something you don't know about or you have questions about like even the small things, it would be easy to just ask around because everyone's just very friendly. So yeah, and that's what I noticed about Pavia.
Yeah, the students' life in Pavia is
Yeah.
rather cool, definitely. But and Alireza, apart from the bars and the open air, what do you like about the University of Pavia too?
So, University of Pavia has many dormitory, has many scholarships, and also you can find very well every students and professor are the family with each other, and you can find and as has said, you can find it very friendly, and you can connect with the professors and students in one lovely platform, Hero, it's called that, and sharing the files and videos also something in this platform.
Yes. Yeah, and then the number of students too is quite
A lot.
quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, on one sense, but the classes are not so big,
Oh,
so
yeah.
there is a good interaction with professors.
Especially in these days because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, of course. But we are coming out of it finally. Hez, did you feel any different from when you left home? So how do you feel changed after being here?
Yeah, so I've already been here
almost 1 year.
yeah, almost 1 year, around 7 months, and I would say just within that 7 months, I would say I've grown a lot. Because when I got here, obviously, like I had to navigate all the bureaucratic and also like the cultural adjustments that I had to do. And once I was able to acclimate, there's something fulfilling about that. And so I would say like just going through that process, I really learned a lot. Secondly, in terms of the professional aspect as well, I would say that because my bachelor's was about agricultural biosystems engineering, and now environmental engineering is more of like the coverage is broader. So I would say like professionally, I've grown a lot as well, and I really appreciate all of the learnings that that the professors and the courses have inculcated to me so far, and I look forward more to the exciting courses that we have because Professor Sibilla presented a while ago the curriculum of the program, and if you could see, it's really exciting. So I really look forward to learning more from the program and our professors.
Okay, thank you. And Alireza, finally, do you want to tell something to all our friends connected here who want to become students in Pavia? So what would you like to tell them?
So to be honest, at first you need to see the study plan. You can see if it's your road into these courses, and if you are interested in Italy, in Milan, because Pavia is also near to Milan city, and if you want to pay lower than in cost, because the Pavia living in Pavia, it's lower than many cities in more compared to many cities in north of Italy, and also you have a quality of life like that, like other cities. You can choose it. You can search in the university website for the scholarships, and it depends in some several scholarships. It depends to your curriculum and your statement of purpose, and some scholarships are in the website. You can see it, and also you can find the professors in some websites like LinkedIn, or see their articles in some Science Direct websites or Google Scholar, to be in touch with them and be familiar with their aims, and you can choose this university not only because of the this curriculum, because of we are a family here and enjoy the life here.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you to both of you.
Okay. I'm so happy that he's feeling like living in a big family here in Pavia.
Yes, it's very well. It is.
Yes.
It's somehow
Okay.
the specialty of.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor, for the presentation. And after the presentation and the interview with our students, I think it's my time to share more information with our students today.
Yeah, they need
because
it, for
maybe
sure.
after today's the presentation, also the interview, some of the students may ask, okay, I heard from the students that Pavia is a small city, but very tranquil, very chill. But let's have a look. So students may ask, well, I'm very interested in this course. I want to choose Pavia, but where is Pavia? We are not so famous as New York, as Tokyo. Well, actually, as you can see on the screen, Pavia is in the northern part of Italy, actually in the Lombardy region. So Pavia is only 30 minutes far from Milan, which means when you arrive in Milan, you can reach Pavia easily by train or by car in only 30 minutes. And always for this reason, as Alireza shared before, it's very, let's say, it's very comfort also to live in Pavia because it's near Milan, but the living cost is much lower than Milan.
Absolutely.
Of course, it's also much lower than Rome and Florence. Okay, but Pavia city is famous not only for its long history, not only for its excellent university, but Pavia is also famous for these excellent agricultural products. For example, here in Pavia, we have, maybe Pavia is the only area where we produce the rice. And of course, here in Pavia, we can find also a very tasty wine. Besides the agricultural products, we have a lot of amazing landscapes around Pavia and of course, a lot of heritage sites. But staying in Pavia doesn't mean that you will get bored during the weekend because Pavia is so near Milan, the city of fashion. Pavia is also near the Cinque Terre, one of the most romantic cities in the world, Como Lake, and one of the largest lakes in Europe, Garda Lake. So during the weekend, if you want to, of course, you can do you can have a very short holiday by visiting these beautiful places near Pavia. Okay, let's have a look at these numbers. Well, I want to mention the first number that I want to mention is 1361. What's this number? Well, in 1361, University of Pavia found. So let's say that University of Pavia has a long history for over 606 years. So we are one of the oldest universities, not only in Italy, but also in Europe. Currently, there are more than 26,000 students in the campus, with at least 1,500 international students. Of course, today we have also two with us in the webinars. And of course, from these numbers, you can have a general idea about this university. And on the screen, you can see also the picture where we can find the Faculty of Engineering. So it's a very beautiful place. Okay, let's move to the tuition fee policy, because as one of the most asked questions, students always ask, okay, I want to come to Pavia, but I want to know how much I need to pay for studying in Pavia. So as you can see on the screen, University of Pavia applies a very particular tuition fee policy to the students. In few words, if you are a non-European student residing abroad who will need a study visa to enter Italy, to make the things more simple, you can choose to pay the flat rate, as you can see on the right of the screen. Well, this flat rate system is based on the student's citizenship, which means, for example, you can see we divided all the countries in 3 brackets. So the flat rate varies from 400 euros per year to 4,500 euros per year. Well, of course, you need to check in which bracket your country falls in order to find out how much you need to pay. But for the students who come from a family with quite limited financial resource, we have also another tuition fee policy, which means students can ask the university to recalculate the tuition fee according to their family's financial situation by presenting the documentation regarding students' family's financial situation. So in this way, your tuition fee might be reduced to only 156 euros per year. Anyway, it's just a very general number because we need to, each student has a different background, has a different situation. So we can talk about this. We can give you more information maybe during the Q&A session. So I think another topic which students are very interested in is the scholarship, as Alireza mentioned several times before. Well, besides the tuition fee, the University of Pavia offers also a very rich scholarship called EDISU scholarship. This scholarship includes a free accommodation in one of the university's dormitory, a free meal per day, a sum of money, and also the tuition fee waiver, which means if you are eligible for the EDISU scholarship, your tuition fee will be reduced directly to 156 euros per year. So I think this is very interesting compared to many other Italian universities, because actually this scholarship has a total value of up to 7,000 euros per year. It's quite a huge amount of money for our international students. Okay, of course, during the master study, students will have the possibility to do an exchange with many other universities. As a professor explained before, we have the exchange program with Utrecht University in Holland. We also have
we have a number of direct contacts, but also, of course, we can have also the inclusion of all these programs with Erasmus and overseas
which means
exchange.
Students might not need to stay here for 2 years. Maybe in the second year they will have also the possibility to go to another country from 3 to 6 months as an exchange program. So it's really very interesting.
It is. They can share also experiences outside of Pavia, which is a good thing, and try also to have maybe to take some different subjects which are not directly included in our master course.
That's wonderful to know. Okay, so in the end, I just want to recap all the information in 4 points. Why you should choose Pavia? So the first point is that University of Pavia is one of the oldest universities in Italy and also in the world, with a long history for more than 660 years. The second point is that, as our students mentioned several times before, Pavia is a very lively and safe city near Milan, only 30 minutes by car or by train, so it's easy for you to go to Milan during the weekend just to have a look at this city of fashion. And of course, Pavia is a city with high quality of life and affordable life cost. Of course, the living cost here in Pavia is much lower than Milan, than Rome, than Florence, Venice. Well, the third point is that the University of Pavia has a very unique university's residence system. Well, here in Pavia, there are more than 20 university dormitories. So if you apply for the EDI-SU scholarship, you can choose to include also the accommodation in the scholarship. So you will have the chance to stay in one of the university's dormitories during your study here in Pavia. The last point, of course, the last but not least, Pavia is a student-sized city with an active student community and many social and cultural events. For example, as far as I know, we have a very huge Iranian student community here in Pavia. Yeah. Okay. Well, due to the time, I will finish my presentation here. So if you have any doubt, if you want to know more, or if you meet any difficulty during your application process, just contact us. We will help you out. Thank you very much. Great.
Thank you, everybody. And yeah, that already gave a lot of information to all the students. So hopefully a lot of it is already clear. If not, this is the moment to ask your questions. I see there are already a lot of questions, so we're going through them. For a live audience, we can answer them now. For the people that watch the recording, just to mention, you can still write your questions and we can send them through to the staff of the University of Pavia. So they can come back to you probably by email. For the live audience, let's get started with some questions. Question from Emina. How many technical subjects are there and what is the offer of the library? What can you say about that?
Well, I would say how many technical subjects, more or less all the subjects, because I mean, it's a course in engineering, so all the subjects are mostly technical, apart from maybe the part of urban planning and so on, which is also technical on its side. Let's say not a large number of strictly scientific subjects. I would say there is a course in mechanical, in continuum mechanics, a course in mathematics, but then all the, let's say, a course on climatology, which is also rather scientific, but most of them are applied engineering sciences. The offer of the library, we have I don't know if you want to say something. We have a central library and there is a technical library which is based here in the Faculty of Engineering with access to a very large number of scientific publications and volumes. I don't know if you have experience of the library. You can say something too.
Yes, they can register to one application and have a seat in many libraries. More than 10 or 15 libraries we have in the Pavia.
Yeah, there's also libraries open even on weekends. So if you want to study during weekends, you could do that in a library because we have a library here that's open throughout the week. So that's great.
Okay, great. Thank you. I see the thumbs up coming. So I think that answered the question for Emina. And otherwise, let us know. Next question from Shamsul. What is the possibility of getting admitted with a master, to the master with a bachelor in textile technology?
Well, we should examine it because maybe that textile technology is a bit far from the subjects we are examining here because basically I don't think that there is a very high previous background in hydraulics, hydrology, and environmental sciences and environmental engineering. We must check your application if you want to submit your application, because it may be that if you are really interested and committed, we may organize an interview to see to discuss a bit whether you might have the background to face all the subjects. You know, because it's nice to have the idea of studying climate change and environmental engineering in this sense, but you face during your master course a number of specialistic subjects which need a background which either you have already, but we cannot give you also the background you will get in a BS. So we need to examine your application before answering.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that answered that question. Otherwise, again, let us know. Andrean is asking, I was wondering, how does the accommodation for international students work? Is there a university residence near the campus?
So, Andrea, nice to hear from you, because I know that you have already applied successfully, I would say, well. Do you want to answer a bit about the accommodation for international students?
I think the students can apply for the EDISU and scholarship.
Yeah, you can apply for the EDISU and scholarship, where you can find an accommodation in a college, so in a dormitory.
Yes.
Colleges in Pavia are not really dorms and not really colleges, if you want to say. Yeah, it's quite unique, because they are dorms, they have rooms, but they have also a specific cultural activity inside, teaching activity inside. Yes. So they are something in between dorms, where you only have residents, and the colleges, like say in a Cambridge or Oxford sense, which is something a bit different.
So I just want to,
if you want, you can add something to.
Okay, no, I just want to add that, well, the application for the university's accommodation will start from the beginning of July. So you are still in time for preparing for submitting the application. Well, is there any universities residencies near the campus? Of course, I think during the application, students can choose Collegio Volta, which is just next to our engineering campus.
Also Golgi.
Yeah, we have two colleges which are just close to the engineering campus. One is just on the, not even on the other side of the road, on the other side of the alley in the same block. And the other one is just a few 2 blocks away, just 1 block away, which are the nearest ones.
Yes. Anyway, Pavia is not big.
Not even if you are on the opposite side of the town. Yeah, that's
okay. Even if you get a place assigned in another college, in another residence, no problem at all. You can arrive. You can reach the engineering campus easily by bus or working. And I want to add another thing that I didn't mention that in my presentation. To all the enrolled students, the University of Pavia offers this Unipass, the bus card, the annual bus card, at the cost of only 25 euros per year, which means you pay only 25 euros per year here. You can travel inside the city without limitation. Well, actually, this price it's wonderful, because in Milan you have to pay much more.
You pay as a student 25 euros per month.
Even more. I think even more. So Pavia is really a city. Yes, Pavia. So it is a city. I must say it's wonderful for the students to study and to live.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move to the next question.
Thank you. Great to hear about that. So next question from Evans. Evans is not an engineering student, and maybe that applies to other people as well that might not have an engineering background. He has a master's degree in environmental design and solid waste management. Does he qualify? What can you say about that?
Well, Evans, I must give a look to your application, but I would say maybe yes, because I know that you're not an engineering student, but you have dealt, I guess, with a number of subjects which are very close to environmental engineering. So maybe that you can qualify. Maybe you need an integration of knowledge in hydraulics if you haven't done something in hydraulics, but we can even advise you. So we can examine your application, but I would say maybe yes, in my opinion, because you are studying something which is very close to environmental engineering. So I would say try.
Great.
Yes, I tell our prospective students, if you make the application, certainly you have a certain possibility to get admitted. If you don't apply, zero chance.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. But as I told before in my presentation, we said engineering and a degree in engineering, which is not mandatory, because we have examined sometimes students which have a very good preparation, even if they are not engineers, they can maybe struggling a bit more. Of course, you are engineers and you know that the background is important. That would mean that you would need to study a lot, but you can do it if you are committed to it. So I guess just apply. Send your application, and we will give we will look at it not once but twice.
Yes, and the application intake starts from tomorrow.
Yeah, the new one starts from tomorrow. Yeah.
Great, thank you for letting us know. I actually sent the link to the application portal in the chat, by the way, for those people. So as you pointed out, nicely, that it's opening tomorrow. So click on the link, you can already save it and get ready for your application then tomorrow. Next question. We have a question from Martin. Martin is asking, how are the job prospects? Any idea of the rate of employment after this program?
Yeah, I have a rate. I have a precise idea because I knew the statistics about the environmental engineering program, and basically we have a number of employees after 1 or 3 years, after 1 year from the graduation, which is slightly over the between 90 and 95%, and a rate of employees after 3 years from the graduation, which almost reaches the 100%. Usually, and I would say these are the statistics based on the past, and I would say that the present is even a bit better because we receive a number of requests from consortia, from companies, and so on, because let's call it the market of engineers in the civil and environmental field is growing quite fastly, at a high pace. So we have a number of requests for graduate students. So I would say that the prospects are very good seen from today.
Okay, thank you. Great to hear. Thank you very much. Alaudin has a question about the possibility for students to manage their living cost by working part-time. What can you say about that?
Well, first of all, for all the international students, it's legal to work here in Italy with a permit of stay for study purpose, up to 20 hours per week. So it's legal. So of course, after the lecture, after the class, you can do a part-time job. But I just want to re-mention this information. If you apply for the scholarship and if you can get the scholarship, with the scholarship, you can already cover a large part of your living cost. And besides the scholarship, for example, university offers also the inside campus part-time jobs. So with this opportunity, you can work up to 150 hours per year. So you will be selected by different offices for this inside campus part-time job. But always, this is something that sometimes I will give this my personal suggestion to our students. I know that to some part-time job is very important for the students to cover the living cost, but it's also very important to balance yourself between the study and the work. Maybe our students have some more personal experiences to share about the part-time job, or how to cover the living cost.
Yes, but it's not related to our study in university. But yes, I teach guitar to other students.
Oh, very good, very good.
That's nice of you, Alireza.
And you can manage your work beside your study, and you can handle it if you want. It's easy.
Yeah.
Do you have experiences?
Yeah, for me, in my case, I don't have a part-time job because my scholarship allowance is already sufficient for me, since we've already mentioned that the cost of living here is not that high. So if you don't travel every weekend, it would be sufficient. So I didn't try any part-time jobs yet.
Okay, but of course, in the end, the students need to evaluate their situation and try to balance themselves between the study and the part-time job.
For what concerns the 150 hours, they can make reference to you, to your office.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. In fact,
even when you are enrolled here in Pavia.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Well, actually, the international students are welcomed to do this part-time job in our office. So we are happy to be able to help out our students. Okay, let's move to the next.
Great to hear. Thank you very much. Next question from Ali. asking about the visa. Are you able to help out with the visa? Because in a lot of countries, it's a big problem to get an appointment with the Italian embassy. What can you say about that?
Yes, as far as I know, we have been having this problem for years, not only with Pakistan, but also with some certain countries in the world. Anyway, our admission office keeps contacting the embassies in these countries to facilitate the visa process. So don't worry about that. If you meet any difficulty, if you meet any issues during the visa process, just let us know.
Yeah, we have. I mean, we will after you have been admitted, we send all the information also to the embassy and the documentation
Yes.
quite quickly. I know that in particular the Islamabad embassy is the one which is the slowest, maybe.
Very slow.
Yeah, it's very slow. So I would say don't lose time when you are admitted.
Yes.
Just make the visa request as soon as you can, because I know that there are these problems, especially with Pakistan. I know that.
And it's also important to let us know that you are facing that issue, so we can intervene rapidly in resolving the problem with the visa office.
Great. Thank you very much. Next question from Farad, and we're getting towards the end of the session. Last questions. Farad is asking how many seats are for this REACH program for international students, and also how important is the interview?
It's my turn to answer.
Well,
so how many seats for international students? We have 50 places, up to 50 places for international students. So there are still up to now we have admitted I think less than half of them. So I still suggest you to apply as soon as possible, of course, because maybe that the last intake would be even too late. How important is the interview of this program? Well, what do you think about that? It is important, of course, because it is the moment where, first of all, besides testing your knowledge, we see how you are. So I remember the interviews by Hez and Alireza, and they proved to be smart students, and they are up to now. And they are proving it now. But it was evident also from the interview. So in the interview, besides your knowledge, we are able to appreciate if you are really a smart student who is committed to what he wants to study. And that's a big part of our evaluation. So even if you don't answer correctly to all our questions, that may be that you give the right impression. So yes, the interview is.
Okay, thank you. And the last question for now is Lyudmila is asking, what is the possibility to be admitted if I'm a medical doctor as a background?
Lyudmila, this is a hard question. I guess not that much, because but it depends. But I don't think you have the basic knowledge in apart from something in fluid mechanics. Maybe depends on which kind of medical doctor. Once again, I will say the same words that she has said just a few minutes before. Yeah. Just try, and we will examine it. I will understand that you are committed to our program because you are here and you are interested in it. I will try to give you a specific answer. Maybe some advices if you want. There is also the possibility not of being admitted this year, but maybe to take some extra university courses and be ready for next year. So we can give you an advice in this sense. Up to now, my first answer would be medical doctor. Quite difficult, but one never knows. I must examine your transcript of records and decide.
Just try.
Yeah, just try.
When you try, you have a chance. If you don't try, you have no chance.
That's it.
Okay. So the application will start tomorrow.
The next intake will start tomorrow.
Don't wait too much, and get ready for tomorrow.
And there it is on the screen, just to help everyone. The contact information and the link to the website where you can apply. It opens up tomorrow, as you just heard. And hopefully that this session helped you in any doubts you may have and get more information, and that some of you maybe end up applying and could be fellow students, all the students that were here joining this session, maybe next year in Pavia. Those were the questions we've received so far. Also, just for the people that watch the recording again, you can still write your questions. Do by all means, everybody, answer the polls, please. That gives us useful feedback also for the admission office, just to know where you are in terms of your interest and if you're looking to apply. I have one more poll question before we finish the session, so I'm going to open that up. And that is to know how we did. There it is over my head. How do you feel the session went? I hope you enjoyed it and it was meeting your expectations. Then give us a 5, and otherwise let us know. And let us know any constructive feedback if you like for a chat. And that pretty much wraps up the session for today. No further questions I see. I think there must maybe one. There was one from the chat. I just want to take that last opportunity for Mohammed asking, so just to make sure you don't need to find a professor, you can apply without connecting to professors.
You mean for the reference letter? I
don't know, Mohammed, if you...
Can you show me the question? But
so the question is, for master apply in this program, do you need to find a professor? Can you apply without connecting to professors? That's the only thing he says. I think he's typing right now. Excellent session. Oh no, we're getting feedback.
Yeah. We will help you out with this information. I think the students intend maybe the reference letter during.
If the reference letter is intended, it helps, but it is not strictly necessary. So if you don't have it, but you have it, your own good career is well evaluated in any case, even if you don't get a reference letter from your professor. Yeah, it helps.
Okay, thank you. And I see already a lot of thank yous coming in from everyone as well. So great to see. Hope you enjoyed the session. And with that, as mentioned, maybe we see each other next year in Pavia. Last words maybe over to you to wrap it up, okay. Professor.
Would you like to say
something? Yes. Okay. Yes. Just thank you very much for joining this webinar. And I say your same words, Luke. So I hope to meet you all in Pavia next year in September. You will enjoy the program, and you will enjoy the town, and you will enjoy the university. I'm sure about that. And I would be really glad to meet you. Yeah.
Yes. And the application starts from tomorrow. Don't wait too much.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, everyone. And bye-bye now for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.